All aboard! Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Welcome, sunshine, to Affirmation Station. My name is Charente of JCLV21, where I joyously coach life victory. Today, I am the conductor on this here train where we learn how to maintain our mind, our body, and our spirit before going to our next destination. This stops has the transfer lines to the best day ever on platform 2 and the worst day ever on platform 3. Choose the perception that you would like to see your day in and choose it wisely. Like every show, I'll be walking you through 4 exercises to kickstart your day or reinvigorate your day and get you on a better foot in regards to how you're currently feeling in this present moment. This show is live recorded Monday through Friday, as well as, let me let a young little secret right here. Eventually, we'll be on all streaming platforms. Today, we are on the Wisdom app and TikTok. Yes, that we're doing this. This episode, we're going to be focusing on loving our divine this Tuesday. So let's wake up just a little bit more. Let's shake up our energy. Let's move our energy just a little bit. Woo! Okay. And let me go ahead and give you the cues to listen out for so you can follow along in this show and stay in the know. If you hear this ding dong, just simply means we're moving on. We're starting a new exercise. And if you hear ding dong ding, that means that we have completed the exercise and it's time to keep it pushing. But don't forget to celebrate yourself because you great. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin, because now that we know the sounds are bound on the ground, we're heading to exercise number 1, called Say It and Claim It. This exercise is all about words of affirmation, where we take the time to clear some things after the I am. Because remember, when you put I am, we are whatever that we say that we are. So be mindful what you are declaring for your life, and that's making it law in your subconscious. It's okay if you're feeling down. You can always use words of affirmation to pick yourself back up and speak love into yourself. Now, here are the instructions. If you want to, you can say this inside of that beautiful mind and that imagination that goes across the nation. Or you can say it out loud with that beautiful voice of yours. You want that added benefit, baby? Let me tell you what you can do for that added benefit. You can go ahead and use your front camera or a mirror so you can see yourself talking yourself up. This helps build your self-esteem. Okay. Now it's time to repeat after me, baby. To set yourself just a little bit freer. Yeah. Today, I choose to show up for myself. I am enough. You know what? I am more than enough. I am worthy. I am loved. I can do all things. I can let go. Everything always works out for me. No matter how I feel, I am totally healed. No matter what they say, I am okay. No matter what I see, I am at peace in the highest degree. Every day and in every way, I get better and better. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. My success is inevitable. You can stop repeating after me. I'm so proud of you for talking love into yourself. I'm so proud of you. Oh, baby, just, I'm just smiling right now. I'm just really, really proud of you. In this moment, we're taking the time to talk love within you. Now, let's go ahead and let's get more still. Let's get more quiet. And let's get into a flow of breathing. The next exercise is called the breeze of breathing. This is where we tap into our life force, our chi, our prana, okay? This is also can be called controlled breathing. I love this because it energizes my body, it focuses my mind, and it allows me to be the light and the love for others. Okay? Because I first take the time to silence myself into that stillness of that creation power. Okay? Here are 4 sets of instructions. So listen out, baby. So you know where you gonna lie. Because we said lie, let's start with the first one. If you laying down, go ahead and get comfortable. Relax them shoulders. Feel the support beneath your back or your side. And close them eyes. If you are driving, this next instruction is for you or you vroom vroom like a dungeon dragon. Get comfortable in your seat. Move your booty just a little bit to the side, Sit up straight. Relax your shoulders. Keep your eyes open. Safety first. If you're not driving, these next instructions are for you. If you are sitting down specifically, get comfortable in your seat. Put your feet on the ground. Sit up straight. Relax them shoulders. Close them eyes for that best focus. And if you got to keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open. Okay? The last set of instructions, if you're standing like I am right now, stand up straight, relax them shoulders. And if you're going to close your eyes, please make sure you lean against the wall for safety purposes. Now, with that being said, let me give you the only disclaimer for this exercise, and that is if you start feeling lightheaded, simply slow or stop your approach in regards to our controlled breathing and go back into normal breathing. Thank you. PSA over. Today, we're going to be doing the 4, the 7, the 8 method, which simply means this. We're going to breathe in for 4, we're going to hold for 7, we're going to exhale for 8. And I will help you with the counting and the memorization of the 4 and the 7 and the 8. I got your back. So, now without further ado, let me go ahead and count this out for you. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back into your natural breathing. You did it. You relaxed your body. You went into the silence. You got a little bit more focused and a little bit more peace. And I am so proud of you for taking that time just to breathe. Thank you for taking that time. I'm thanking you for yourself. I thank you for taking that time. So much. Now that your body is chillaxed of the relaxation, okay, let's go ahead and let's move to our next exercise. This exercise is called Tap It In, also known as Emotional Freedom Technique, which is also called, I'm giving you all the AKAs, EFT Tapping. Okay, this is an alternative therapy for PTSD, chronic pain, weight loss, and other conditions such as anxiety, fibromyalgia. There's a list. Look it up. See if it's for you. To me, this technique is combining 2 out of the 5 love languages that we can learn from Gary Chapman, and that is taking physical touch and pairing that physical touch with words of affirmation. Twice the love, baby. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be using 4 different taps, okay, to accomplish our mission for today. Our mission is to dissolve fear and anxiety. Our mission is to dissolve shame and powerlessness. Our mission is to dissolve confusion and uncertainty. And our mission is to allow spiritual connection. This is our mission. And how we're accomplishing this is we're going to be tapping underneath the eyes, under the nose, under the chin, on the top of the head. And the reason why we do each of these is because they all have different things that they promote, such as, or allow, either way. Underneath the eyes, it allows feelings of contentment and calmness as well as some safety to come through. Under the nose allows you to accept thyself, give yourself empowerment and compassion for self and others. The reason we tap underneath the chin is to get that clarity, that certainty, that confidence, and that self-acceptance. We gotta lock in that self-acceptance today, guys. That's what we're doing, self-acceptance. And like I said, for the top of the head, that's just to balance it all out, to complete the process, and that is true mission completion. Okay, let me give you the instructions. Accept where you are right now. Accept what you're feeling in this moment, whatever it is. Angry, sad, happy, mad, melancholy, terrified, raged, upset, dejected. Like whatever you're feeling, my love, feel it and accept it. When you accept it, you are allowing now awareness to foster a change because now you can really see it. Okay? Accept it. And when we accept it, it's not saying that we want more of it. We're just accepting that it is what it is. And please know that your feelings are simply just a part of your alert system to let you know what's going on and how you're vibrating in that moment. And how you're vibrating also can dictate what you're attracting to you. Okay? So feel it, accept it, honor it, love it. And when I say love it, it's just I love all parts of me because nothing is wrong with me. That's what we're accepting right now. And like I said, all your feelings are okay. I'm going to go ahead and explain what we're going to be tapping. Like I said, we're doing underneath the eyes. So it's really right underneath the eyes, out on that top cheekbone on both sides, tapping on both sides. Then you're going to be tapping under the nose. So what that looks like for underneath the nose, it will literally be tapping where that divot is and like where, how do I say this? Yo, nostril, separate your left to your right, right there. Tap right there on that mustache line. Okay, and then for underneath the chin, it's literally right underneath your lip. That top of your little chin, fleshy area, tap right there. Top of the head, you use your middle and your index finger. You can use that for all these exercise places, or just for your top of your head. And in that case, you'll tap literally just in the center of your head. Just let the vibration move things. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's all we're doing today. And we're pairing these all with the affirmations that we previously said from Say It and Claim It. I'm going to let you know where to start. I'm going to let you know when to switch. I'm also going to let you know what to repeat. Okay? I'm going to help you. I'm going to instruct you. I got you, baby. I got you. So let's go ahead and let's get started with tapping underneath the nose. Not the nose, sorry. Underneath the eyes. See, I already have the nose, dog. I love myself. And it's okay when I mess up because I am human, like you are. So, tapping underneath the eyes. Repeat this. Today, I choose to show up for myself. I am enough. You know what? I am more than enough. Switch your tapping underneath the nose. I am worthy. I am loved. I can let go. Switch to underneath the chin. Everything always works out for me. No matter how I feel, I am totally healed. No matter what they say, I am okay. Switch to tap it on the top of the head. No matter what I see, I am at peace in the highest degree. Every day and in every way, I get better and better. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. My success is inevitable. Release, read after me, and release the tapping. Give yourself a round of applause because you did mission completion. Yeah. I'm so proud of you for just taking the time to pour love into yourself. Let's go ahead and do our kudos. Let's do our celebration of you with the party song. It's a celebration day. Yes, yes. Woo! I love celebrating you. I love having this much fun with you. And I will say this. Let's go ahead and go into one of our newer exercise called venting gratitude. This is simply where we vent gratitude. We just start saying and having a rampage of things that we are thankful for. By showing appreciation and by showing gratitude, you automatically also start lifting up your life and how you perceive things. Gratitude, when they say it's the best attitude, it's a place where I feel personally for myself so much love. So let's go ahead and start with what we're grateful for. And you can do this with me, follow along. You can say what I say if it resonates with you. If it doesn't, say whatever you got to say. But let's start with thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being awesome people. Thank you for existing. Thank you for allowing yourselves to be mirrors of what I need to work on. Thank you that we have the United States. Thank you we have all these countries. Thank you we have a currency that make it easier for bartering system. Thank you so much for the soil and how it's getting always more and more nutrient with the fertilizer and allowing things to grow from it. Thank you so much, God, for the rain that you poured into Vegas because we needed to have a chillax moment with this heat. Thank you, God, for my dog. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my husband. Thank you so much, God, for the fact that I have a vehicle to drive in. Thank you so much for the roof over my head. Thank you for the space that I have to really facilitate my all of my creativity. Thank you for my office. Thank you so much for my job. Thank you for my work. Thank you for my coworkers. Thank you so much that I've been able to travel there. Thank you so much that just thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the Delta Lounge, Jesus. Thank you so much for always going to places and spaces of I can actually have the food without worrying about the things that I cannot have. Thank you, universe, for always allowing everything to always work out for me. Thank you that words of affirmation can be law, and I know that I can be able to choose it because now I have the understanding of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for candles. Thank you for Burlington Coat Factory. Thank you for all the stores that are still open and that persevered through what we thought was going to be the worst time period. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the white blood cells in my body that they're my gangsters to take care of my body. Thank you for my ego. Thank you so much that I have clothes to put on and I have options. Thank you that, oh, thank you that I finished my school and I didn't allow fear to rule. Thank you so much for being that consistent ear of encouraging me. Thank you for sending encouragers. Thank you. Just thank you so very much. I need a second. Just give me a second. Exercise completed. Thank you so much, Samantha, on you letting me know in the back channel of congratulations on number 50 of Affirmation Station. I am in gratitude of that in and of itself, the fact that we've made it to 50 episodes. We've been chugging along, y'all, for a while now. And it's been I've had so much fun doing this. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I like being able to be my silly self. And if people can't accept it, cool. If people can, cool. I like being silly. I like helping people laugh too. And apparently people laugh at this a lot. I don't mind it. That means it brings them a sense of joy. That's enough for me. Okay? If you're listening in and you want to share your favorite affirmation or share how you're feeling after completing the exercise or just want to talk for a minute, you can come up now or you can come up after we talk about today's topic. This is a news part of Affirmation Station, and we're going to bring in. I've not been going to. I'm going to ask for help in regards to how to say this beautiful person's name. Welcome to Affirmation Station. How are you doing, love?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I love your energy. I tapped in yesterday for the first time, and when you did the EFT tapping, oh my gosh, I felt such great relief. So thank you so much for this. I just wanted to express my gratitude since we're on the gratitude train.
Yeah, hero. We had to add a new cart to it. The train had to get a little bit longer because I was like, something's missing. It was already full, already perfect, but I was like, something's missing. Gratitude. Because when we do gratitude, like for me, I started feeling chills all over my body. Okay? That's why I said I needed a second.
Wow. Yeah, and actually, so I just came out of a dark night of the soul, and I was in it for 5 years, and I was numb to feeling. And somebody actually told me that I should start the first thing when I wake up, before I do anything, list 5 things you're grateful for and really feel it in your heart. Let it expand through your whole body and let it expand through your room and let it expand through your building and let it expand through your street and into the the person you know who's the furthest away from you, and then start your day. Man, literally, I'll tell you that I felt I was numb. I didn't feel connected to my body. I felt so depressed, so hollow. I felt like just think of like rock. I was coming out of rock bottom essentially because I was sleeping in my car for God knows maybe a year. I stopped counting the months. So I was coming out of like the most hopelessness state I've ever experienced. And just starting my day with gratitude, oh my gosh, my life has pivoted and life becomes so effortless and so much ease. And now I'm like grounded in my body even more. So it's, yeah, gratitude is the highest frequency, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's life changing.
I love it. I love that you pushed through the dark to get back into the light. And I'm very proud of you taking that journey. I am very proud that you do affirmations and gratitude at the very beginning of the day to get your day started. I know for me, when I wake up, I just say thank you. Like I just rest in my thankfulness and I just lay there for a second and not jump up, just lay there and chill for a sec. So I will say this is that my question to you is simply this is that if you were to talk with your younger self in regards to where you are now, what would your younger self say?
What would my younger self say?
About where you are right now?
Show me the way. Show me the way. I'm helpless. Um, I don't know what to do. I feel so unloved. Show me the way.
And my question is, what would your adult self say?
I love you. I'm always here with you. You are enough. Get out of your own head and embody your heart. Like, don't listen to the fears. Listen to your heart. You're a mental alchemist. You're so powerful. Rewrite what you don't want to experience and create what you want to experience. You're powerful. I love you.
I absolutely love that. So I will say this is that if you have ever have a moment and you're feeling down and gratitude's not what you'll do, is one exercise that I do is I ask my adult self to pretend like I'm my kid self, and I ask the question of, so what would you do in this moment, Charente? And then it will give me the really super intelligent answer, and I'm like, okay, younger self. And then my adult self will be like, wait a minute, we know some things about structure, and that's not how things go. So let's rehab a conversation about this. And I talk between the two. And the reason I do that is because there are some things that my younger self still believes that my adult self has to re-help them teach myself, if that makes any sense.
Wow. Yeah, that definitely does. Like rewiring. Yeah.
Yes, I'll say reprogramming. The easiest way to say that.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Definitely start doing that.
You're absolutely welcome. Sorry, I had to run to go get my fan because it's a little bit hot in here now. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming up. Thank you so much. So today, that brings me into the topic of today. For what are we going to talk about? Love My Divine Tuesday. We're going to talk about this. What came to me was self care. So that's what we're going to talk about. What is self care? Self care is important to maintaining a healthy relationship with yourself. What it looks like, it means doing things to take care of your mind, your body, and your soul by engaging in activities that promote well-being and reduces stress. Doing this enhances our ability to live fully, vibrantly, and effectively. The practice of self care is also reminds us that your needs are valid and a priority. We're going to now talk more about, now that we talk about what it is, we're going to talk about the 5 pillars of self care. This specifically comes from, we do articles up in here, y'all, sometimes, intoxicatingbeauty.com. This is what they had to say in regards to what are the 5 pillars. They say that there is a physical pillar, there is a social pillar, there's an emotional pillar, intellectual, and spiritual. Now let's dive in to know a little bit more about what do they mean by physical. What they describe it as, it says the physical pillar of self-care encompasses any process or processes or activities that affect our physical well being, including diet choices, exercise, and sleep patterns. Our physical body is our temple, and it's our absolutely crucial to set aside time to treat it with kindness, love, and respect. Without healthy, nutritious foods and proper rest, your physical body will suffer and it will become impossible to move on to the other areas of your self care routine. This pillar also extends to stress management, sexual health, and routine and medical as well as dental visits. This is not. This also talks about limiting alcohol, caffeine, sugar consumption, probably illicit drugs that don't do your body good. Limiting that kind of stuff. This all affects your physical well-being. The recommendation from this website says, get started with this pillar by doing small acts of focusing on the physical half a week, such as one week or promising to shut off your TV and get another additional hour of sleep the next week. So for me, what this looks like in the physical, okay, it looks a little something like this. When it comes to diet choices, what I decided to do for myself is to figure out about myself and nobody else when it comes to my diet. Okay? So what that looked like was for me to go onto the Groupon, for me to find this thing from Advanced Labs that said, I will test your hair and let you know what inflames you, baby. And I did that test. After I did that test, it gave me everything that inflamed me: alcohol, food, certain chemicals in household products. And it all the way went down to what digestive enzymes, what vitamins and minerals is my body more lacking in than being in perfect harmony in. This one test. By me having this one test, mind you, the test didn't do anything. It was the one step after one step. And what that looked like to me is I confirmed for me, gluten ain't it for me. Okay. I also confirmed for me, I can't have potatoes or mozzarella cheese. And it looked like I started me to get off of potatoes as the first things first. And figuring out I can have sweet potatoes because they actually have an anti-inflammatory property to them. Not the regular white potatoes or purple potatoes or red potatoes. All of those for me have a particular chemical that don't vibe with my personal body. So I don't eat it. And when it comes to it being in a starch form, being the physical actual potato, or anything that says potato, except if it says sweet potato, okay, I just cut it out. Was it easy? It became easier when I started really focusing on the things that I could have and just being grateful that I could have something else besides having potatoes. Is it easy now after having done it for over a year? Yeah, it actually is. I love my sweet potatoes. I can still have fries. I can still have pies. I still have all of it. It's just I had to find the brands that vibed with the diet choices I was choosing to take based off the record and the report that was given to me of what inflames me. The exact same thing when it comes to sugar consumption. It wasn't, hey, forget all sugar all at once. I tried that multiple times, didn't work. So what I did was is that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go first with types of sugar. Before I say sugar, I'm gonna go with first types of sugar. The first sugar I got rid of was high fructose corn syrup. It's a highly processed sugar that doesn't really process in your body that well. So that's the first one that I got rid of. The next thing that I got rid of is I never, first it was actually sugar free. I never touched sugar free after watching some documentaries. Never touched it. I moved to high fructose corn syrup removal. Then I moved to, okay, now I can have sugar. Okay, I can have some of all and all of nothing, which simply just means for me is this, is that after doing a little bit further research, I found out that we're only supposed to, as humans, really have 20 grams of sugar or less a day. One can of Coke is about 40 grams of sugar. So that's literally one can is your entire, like more than double your sugar. So for me, what I found was is that I was like, if I'm going to have sugar, I'm going to do my absolute best to get 20 grams and under a day. But it's a day, one day in a week, if that makes any sense. So if I'm going to do sugar, I'm not saying I can't absolutely have it. I'm just saying I'm going to have it in very, very, very tiny quantities and very, very few times. And when it comes to alcohol, I didn't really have an issue with this. Is I just don't drink alcohol. I have some at my house. It just sits there, y'all. I'm just gonna let you know. It just sits there. I don't have really any inkling to picking it up, and I can't really speak on experience of I've had a serious, severe issue with it. I had one experience, actually two experiences, that I said I will never do alcohol again, and it was me falling asleep in front of my house and my mom having to knock on the window to figure out if I was okay because I didn't turn off my car. That was scary. Another scary experience was simply me forgetting about all my morals and standards and doing actions that if I was completely sober, I would have never done. Okay. And this was a negative impact to me because I wasn't taking care of me as I forgot all about my boundaries and my judgment. From those two experiences, I don't drink. I just don't drink. Not because I fear getting drunk. It's simply because it doesn't make my body feel good. I have to pee way too much. And then two, like it's also extra calories and sugar. Like sugar's in everything, y'all. So what does that look like for you on your physical? I just told you what it looked like for me. Think about yours. Now let's go ahead and go into social. The social pillar of self care refers to your network of support, specifically your inner circle of family, friends, colleagues, and other people you interact with on a regular basis. As social creatures, humans require a feeling of social belonging and acceptance that comes from building a reliable network of supportive and loving people. Having someone to turn to in times of need is a huge part of social self care because of the way it allows you to connect with others on a deeper level and you don't feel alone when life gets really overwhelming. We are all very slightly in relation to how much social interaction feels best for us. Okay. Some of us are like, hey, I'm gonna come out for like a day and then I'm gone for like the next month. Like, don't see me, I see you. Like, bye. Some people are like that. Some people are, I like being out all the time. There's differences. And either way, it's okay. Just remember we have to have human connection. Maintaining close ties with at least one individual will help provide you with trustworthy guidance, inspiration, advice, and support is absolutely essential when you need it. So, figuring out what your support system is going to look like in regards to your social. And lastly, this pillar also extends to protecting thyself or yourself from draining situations or toxic people whenever possible. I'll repeat that. Whenever possible, as well as setting social boundaries and being able to decline social invitations when your body is requiring a different method of self care. What this looks like for me, because I can really only speak about myself, is for social self care. I use the Wisdom app. I have used Clubhouse to help me with social. I have been on live streams on YouTube where I was with an artist and their community a couple of times. Figure out where your social belonging is and just triple check your boundaries. And if something doesn't vibe right, that's because something's not right. Evaluate assess, figure out what's going on, figure out what your body is really trying to tell you. This is what people talk about when it comes to body language. Your body can tell you if you're about to go into a situation because you get the heebie jeebies or you get a gut instinct to not go. I know for me, is that I have had gut instincts before and I have completely ignored it. By me ignoring my gut instinct, it allowed me to go in a situation in a space for me to get violated in a way that I didn't know I was going to get violated. Okay? So, protect thyself. Figure out what your boundaries are. Figure out how much social interaction you're going to want to do and what types of social interaction is that going to be. For me, currently, what that looks like is volunteering. It also looks like going live on TikTok, go listening and going live on Wisdom. It looks like to me having phone calls outside of that, having Zoom conversations with my friends that are all over the world, literally all over the world. One day I'll see them in person. Today it's virtual. Okay. So figure out what that looks like to you. And if it's not a family member that is your blood relative, that's okay. You can choose the family that you want now. Whatever that family looks like, if it's a couple of your friends or that you consider that your family, then those people are your family. Figure out where your tribe is, and it might be multiples. For me, I have multiple tribes, and I like it that way. And I've cultivated that as a part of my self care to also say these are the certain things, as well as when my friends hang out with me, I make it. I'm very organized, so I have a scheduler, and it literally says, "What vibe are we cultivating here? Are we cultivating joy? Are we cultivating enlightenment? What are we cultivating when we meet?" And if we're not both meeting that, then are we going to meet? No, then we're not. I've literally had cancellations before, and I wasn't mad. They're like, "I'm not feeling right," and I'm like, "Okay, then we're not doing it." Because you said you want to cultivate joy. It's going to be hard if you're not feeling it, and you're not feeling right in the moment. That's okay. When we come together, we'll come together at a different time, and we're still able to come together, and we fostered a lot of joy and vibes. It felt really good. But know where you are. It's okay to decline. It's okay to reschedule. Do it. I dare you. Let's go ahead and move to number 3, the third pillar, per intoxicatingbeauty.com. The emotional pillar. This pillar is one that we're talking about for self care, and it refers to healthy awareness and management of your emotions and stress, including all practices that can help nourish your heart. This includes constantly taking the time to check in with yourself and really understand your emotions in a positive way, which is simply not trying to just shut them out. That's what it simply means by positive. Just accept them for that they are what they are at the moment. They can always change. Just accept them, but don't demean them. So that's what it simply means by in a positive way. During certain periods, such as after a difficult breakup or stressful deadlines at work, you may require more emotional self care than usual. Take the time for the pause of the cause of you. You gotta take a break for a moment to recenter yourself before you go into the next. Do that. If you are at work and you're like, well, I have back to back meetings, do yourself a favor, especially if you're the one scheduling the meetings. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes in between meetings, just so that you can go take a pee or a poop if you should need to. Or you can do some deep breathing work to help you get back to yourself. You can do some meditation, some EFT, some gratitude. You can do a certain healing modality to help you get to the next moment, but you need the space to be able to do that. So don't forget to allow yourself to have that space. Okay. So let's go back to the article. It says, this gives yourself space to deeply feel, process, and release emotions on your own terms in a non judgmental and accepting manner. Okay. Emotional self care also extends beyond ourselves, and it includes recognizing that everyone is dealing with difficult emotions. Everyone's here. Everybody. Did I say everybody? Everybody is feeling what they're feeling. And this whole point is because we should strive to show others the same love, kindness, and compassion that we show ourselves. And when you don't see that, take note and love on that person some more. Because that might mean that they're not loving them. If they are acting in a way that you know doesn't show love to you, that means that they're not showing love to them. So show love to them anyway. They're not a true enemy. The Bible talks about there's an enemy. They're not an enemy. They're just a brother or sister that is freaking hurt too. Show the love, compassion that's inside of you for yourself and for others, and hold that space for them. Okay? So, one way to practice emotional self care today, tell your significant other, your friend, exactly how much they mean to you and why. Even better, if you really want to go for gold, go ahead and try a heart chakra guided meditation on YouTube. Just give it a try. See what happens. See how you vibe. For me, when it comes to my emotions, I personally accept them when they come. Whatever that feeling is, even if it's I don't want to get out of bed. Doesn't give me a reason, just says I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like, okay, just let me know when you're ready. I'm ready. Anytime I'm ready. And eventually my body will say, hey, it's time to get up. I'm like, yay, it's a new time. Okay. But I accept whatever my body is telling me, and I accept whatever emotion is talking to me. Even when I've had emotions of not feeling like I was enough. And I had to accept that and then say, wait, let me try to find evidence that I am enough. And when I found outstanding amount of evidence, I realized that that emotion was coming up as a false evidence appearing real, or a fear that really actually didn't exist, because I had proof all around me that I was the thing that I was saying that I wasn't. And when it also comes to emotions or energy in motion, I also think about when I used to feel guilty. And then I would go and Google to see, was I right or was I wrong? Most of the time, I would see that there was something that I could do better. And then I would feel a feeling of dread and shame from it. And I didn't want to tell nobody about it. Then I got to this point where my mom taught me this beautiful prayer called the Ho'oponopono prayer, okay? Which simply goes, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And saying that as many times as I need to allow the emotion to settle and for it to just no longer to dissolve itself. Because it can do that. It can dissolve itself. And me saying that prayer helps me to dissolve whatever yucky feeling that I'm feeling and allow the grace and the forgiveness and the love to cover whatever it is. These are just a couple things I do. Also do heart guided meditations. Like, I don't mind a guided meditation. Those things are fun. Okay? Just try meditation, if you will. Just try one. Let's go ahead and go to the fourth of the fifth pillar. And then after that, we'll be done for today. I'm excited to finish doing through this. So, we're going to be going through the intellectual pillar. This pillar of self care refers to all practices that help to nourish your mind. Whether you enjoy reading a book or learning how to speak another language, actively engaging your brain in new educational projects is an essential method of self care. This can include not only studying up a new information or skills, but also means simply maintaining a positive mindset in your daily life. Setting aside time just to learn in whatever capacity that looks like will inevitably leave you feeling more confident and accomplished as you expand your potential in your pursuit of education and learning. Personal growth and self development allows us to feel a sense of peace and achievement, that we are constantly moving in the direction of becoming the best version of ourselves. The recommendation of this article says learning should be fun. Try signing up for a Saturday morning class in something that really excites you, such whether it's photography, poetry, pottery, or a website design. Whatever that looks like, do it. For me, when it comes to intellectual self care, I do this one a lot. I love learning new things. I love listening to books. I swear I listen to at least 10, 15 books a month. I love books. I love learning. This particular month, I am currently still in my Cornell course for women's entrepreneurship. I just finished my coursework in regards to entrepreneurial presence. That was the things that I was learning, as well as in addition to that, what else did I do? Oh, I just completed my Korean class. And the reason I did the Korean class is I've been wanting to be fluent in Korean for a while now. And I was so hesitant and had false evidence appearing real that I was not pronunciating things right. And I wasn't, because I missed some syllables. That was me. But during this class, I was able to learn it and be able to be confident in whatever I say. Now it's just going to take the time to do the memorization work. I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited to be able to say a full sentence in Korean, besides saying 안녕하세요, 조모주, Charente입니다. So, hello, my name is Charente, or Yudabun, which simply means everybody. Okay? And it's generally referring to teachers or students. And that's generally a teacher saying that. And I know certain words, but taking the time to learn something new. Why not? Just why not? You never know what that intellectual self-care could take you to. I know for me, I paint. This is something that I picked up most recently. I actually sat down and watched a painter actually completely teach me all the ins and outs? No, I just go with the flow. Because sometimes you don't have to add some intellectual to it. You just go with the flow. I know for me, another new language or new thing that I learned was when I did U-Jam or Zumba. Just take the time to learn and try different things. Or boxing. I've tried that too. Boxing really isn't in for me. My gloves are cute though, but that's not really it for me. Like I learned it. I don't vibe with it like that. Figure out what vibes with you and what you want to learn and just start doing it. Don't say wait until then or it's about your education. Take it into your hands and do something. Whatever that is. YouTubeversity. Y'all didn't know that existed? It does. It's the second name for YouTube or Google University. Either way, they're owned by the exact same company. It's the exact same accomplishment. Type a keyword in and say how to. There's usually a video on it. So, YouTube University, take a look. That one's super easy. Stimulate that intellectualness. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go to this last pillar. Like I said, we're doing an article from intoxicatingandbeauty.com in regards to the 5 pillars of self-care. The last one is spiritual. The spiritual pillar of self-care includes all practices that can nourish your soul and refers to the beliefs and values that guide our lives. Regardless of your personal belief system, spiritual self-care is a vital aspect of self-care that everyone can embrace in their own unique way. It's the idea of investing in something bigger than ourselves and taking time to explore a spiritual practice. Oh, sorry. Let me hear. Let me actually read what it actually says. This is where my lines get crossed. So let me fix this. Okay. So it says it's an idea of investing in something bigger than ourselves and taking time to care for our souls, the very essence of our being. This can mean taking the time to explore a spiritual practice such as yoga or meditation or visiting your place of worship each Sunday. Whatever it looks like to you, okay? Just choose whatever it looks like. Whatever spirituality means to you, this pillar plays an essential role in self care by allowing you to extend gratitude for the blessings in your life and to appreciate the big picture of life as a whole. By helping to remove us from the often trivial issues we worry about daily, aka not so in the small stuff, spiritual practice can help us to better understand our purpose as well as many mystical forces in the universe that are outside our current comprehension. Isn't that fun? I hope it's fun for you, as it is for me. So when it comes to my spirituality, that looks like I read. I flex my intellectual one, especially for spirituality, because I have been trying to understand just a little bit more. Well, I know everything, no, and I'm okay not knowing everything. But can I understand just a little bit more? Yeah, I can. So I take the time to do that. And for me, that's an affirmation station, just gonna throw us out there. Touch we touch a lot of your self-care. I'm just gonna throw this out there, especially hearing it from someone else's point of view. We touch a lot of your self-care, like a lot of it, because of the fact that we start out by doing words of affirmation, which are love languages. Okay, and that's pouring love back into ourselves. That's helping us with our emotional health. Okay, now that we're going to talk about spiritual, we go into the silence by doing conscious breath work. Then we follow that up with doing emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT tapping. And when we do that, we are pairing spiritual and we're pairing emotions together in that moment as well as physical. So that's a threefer. Okay. The next thing that we do is we vent gratitude. And then it say, per this article, it says, whatever spirituality means to you, this pillar plays an essential role in self-care by allowing you to extend gratitude for the blessings in your life and to appreciate the big picture of life as a whole. We vent gratitude. So what I'm getting from this right now, this. Affirmation Station is taking on a whole new meaning in my mind right now. If it is for you, cool. If it's not, okay. But for me, it is because I didn't realize how much everything that Spirit gave me was tying into pure spirituality and helping promote that and to really love on yourself. Okay. So, like I said, for me, I do a lot of different things. Yoga is a fun thing to do. I still want to do the handstand. That is a thing. So that part goes also with my intellectual of learning something new. I want to learn how to do the upside down handstand and the yoga. I know it'll be one day and it's not today, and that is okay. So, if you want to read more on this article, you can always look up the 5 pillars of self-care by intoxicatingbeauty.com. I know for me is that I do have a ebook out right now. It's actually I have two. I have a checklist for self-care as well as a ebook on self-care where you can do a little bit more research about it and see what works for you. If you want to take a look at that, you can. It's on my Etsy and you can find it a clickable link in my about me section of my stuff, okay? Go ahead and take a look, see if it vibes with you, if it's right for you. If it's not, that's okay. And it don't worry me none. I just like being able to give you guys resources to refer to at a later time period if this is what your learning journey is taking you to. So let's go ahead and move to the next section, where I let you know what else there are clickable links for you to view my About Me section. You're also going to see there a life check-in form so that you can get some awareness of where you are in life and so you can make the changes that you would like to make in that, with help or without help. Either way, you'll have the information that you need to go on, okay? The next thing you're going to see is a replay of all affirmation stations. It's going to include all just the listen only, as well as all the visuals on the YouTube that were recorded from the Tickety Talk. You're going to see a link to Lighten Up Your Life with Charente Facebook community, where I hold a sacred space and I go over self-care. I go over from taking you from dark to light and the overwhelming to the love and the peace and the mindset. That is what I do in that group. And if you want to join, go ahead. I love being able to pour love in. Okay? I do. Love and light everywhere I go. And if you just want to connect with me on any of my platforms, you can. I have many. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest. Ooh, what else do I got? I got a lot of stuff, y'all. WhatsApp, wherever you want to connect with me. Let's have a chat if it's that time to have a chat with someone that can help uplift wherever you're at. I would love to be able to connect with you, or just to have a chat. Say we're just going to have a chat about the quantum reality of this world and the polarity of which it sits on its axis. We'll have a very deep conversation, and it'll probably also start with I don't know, but let's see. Okay, just gonna throw that out there. If you would like to hop in before we head out, you are more than free to do that. And give me your take on self care. The timer is set for 5 minutes. And if you'd like to start, you can. And if not, that would be, doesn't hurt me none, like I said. Okay. So, because no one's joining in, that's okay. Let's go ahead with the move on to the move on. Well, I stand corrected. We're going to bring someone in. 3, 2, 1.
I crack
Hello.
up every time I'm sorry. I crack up every time I hear you because you make me laugh. You make me laugh, and I needed that because I ate too much.
What I hear is you're passing gas. That's what I just heard.
No, 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 no. What you heard is I ate too much, and then that's what I said. And laughing made me feel a little bit better, you know. But at any rate, yeah, I like the article that you read. That was pretty neat. Those are things we've been working on for a long time now, and I'm surprised you actually didn't write it.
No, I did not write this one. I wrote my checklist and I wrote the ebook, but I did not write this particular article because I'm just trying to go and flow. And I was like, ooh, pillars. someone else's article. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I might actually do my own work moving forward.
No, I know. No, that wasn't a criticism. I just know that this is how you write. I thought it was yours at first until you said some. I don't know what you said. Whoever wrote it.
Intoxicatingbeauty.com.
Yes, intoxicated. Yeah, I thought it was yours until you started saying intoxicatedbeauty.com because I didn't get here until because I started with your first show and you canceled it for some reason and I ended up in somebody else's room while I was cooking. When I came back, I'm like, well, what happened?
I had to cancel because I was trying to test out my new mic, and I left it as a no people can come up while I'm testing, and I accidentally left it. So I had
Oh,
to restart so I
oh,
can get people to come on.
well, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was very nice. And I also wanted to tell you because I was going to call you and I noticed you were on here. I made some barbecue beef sandwiches. So you're welcome to come get one.
Y'all, this is some self care when it comes to the physical. I told y'all, we talk about diet and choices. Her choices of her diet are always clear. I love my mom because she's the one that helped me with the dietary choices as we both had to go gluten free on the exact same day. And she had to foster that change because I was a child at the time, a teenager specifically. She had to actually go into the store to buy it, and we had to read labels, labels for
We
days.
still have to read labels because people have changed their ingredients and then you feel some type of way, and then you know what I'm saying. So,
That's
but
big
today I
facts.
just felt some type of way because I just ate a little bit, one bite too many. It was just good. That's why I'm calling to give some away.
That makes sense, and I don't mind it. Like I really don't, and I love you. So, my mom, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be this: is that from what you could hear when it comes to the self care, is what examples can you give from your life in regards to how do you manage your self care? And if you want to go and come back so you have your full 5 minutes, you more than welcome can.
Well, I'll have the 7 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, for my physical, I dance, I walk, I like to hike. I ride my motorcycles to places where I end up doing a whole lot of stuff, whatever it is. You know, this weekend I'll be doing something on the motorcycles, but then gonna end up at the dance place with all the girls. So, I do a lot of things like also socially. Socially, I have a group of women that I ride motorcycles with, and then I have certain people that I go out dancing with at times, and then of course I have my core group of my family and friends that I talk to, and I have wisdom. So that means a lot to me as far as socially because here I can talk about things that matter to me with people that matter to me, you know? And the thing is, the quiet cries kept everybody matters to me, but I like talking about the deeper things, you know, like with Daryl and Kristen and all those people. So that's on the social side. And now I'll go and come back.
Okay. She's coming back. She's coming back. So because she's coming back, let me go ahead and give her her other sound effect that is hers and only hers, which is that sound effect. Yeah,
Oh
hiya.
my God. You're so silly. My goodness, girl.
You birthed me. Hi, mom.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so on the other end of self care, where did I stop? I did
You
social
did
and I did
social. You did
physical.
physical. Now you're at
Okay. Oh,
emotional.
physical still. I take the time to read those labels. I take the time to eat those things that agree with my body. I made sure everybody in my family did the biohack by having their hair DNA tested so they can tell you what's right for you. And we learned that every single person in the family, sisters, aunts, all that other kind of stuff, had different dietary needs and restrictions. So you can't just say, "Oh well, my mama ate it, so I can eat it." Oh, my daddy did. Oh, somebody was allergic to this, so I am too. That was not the case. It was not at all. You know. So so that's for more for the physical, and then I allow inspiration to lead me each day with each meal that I eat. You know, this time I overstepped my lunchtime, And when I got up, I was hungry. I mean, I ain't gonna sit there. I wasn't starving, but I was really hungry, so I ate too fast. And then I also
I beg to differ here. Well, let me explain something. My mama puts her foot in all her food. Not literally. Please, no, not literally. That's just a saying to say her food's good. So I'm just going to assume that your food just that good that you just had to gobble it all down.
Yeah, it was something like that. But it was too fast. I knew I was eating fast, and when I caught myself, because I was listening to this too, so I caught myself. I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost finished. Oh wait a minute, uh-oh. And then when I put it down, then I could start feeling that, uh-oh, you ate one bite too many, or two bites, or three bites, whatever it was. But usually, as far as physical, I sit with my food. I don't gobble it down. I sit with it, and most of the time, I'm not able to eat half as much as anybody else eats, because I sit long enough till I let my body register when it's full, which I did not do just now. So I'm laying down feeling kind of, but anyway, that's the physical, and I only eat what I'm inspired to eat, or cook what I'm inspired to cook. I also do not leave the house without my lunch bag and my water on hand. Everywhere I go, I got my lunch bag and my water, because there's things out there that I can't eat. Most of the stuff out that you go fast food for, I cannot eat at all. I can't touch none of it, because I got allergies to gluten and garlic, and you know, different things that. And then I don't like eating high saturated fats and all that kind of stuff, because God healed me of 46 diseases, and He told me I was healed the day I asked, but I had to do what it takes to maintain the healing. So physically, I do what it takes to maintain health in my body. And because I put health in, I get health out. Whatever you put in, you're going to get out. And I learned that when they say you are what you eat, you are what you eat in every sense of the word. You are what you eat socially. You are what you eat intellectually. You are what you eat physically. You are what you eat spiritually. You are what you eat. And so I that's what I do as far as that. And then as far as spiritually, I have my meditation that I do. I have my energy clearing that I do with the Ho'oponopono. I have my energy medicine tapping that I do. I also use CBD or cannabis, depending on whatever it needs to do, to alleviate whatever, so that I can stay in that right frame of mind. What else? Oh my God, I do so much spiritually. And then I'm always renewing myself with what heals whatever. I'm always questioning, is that the best that I could do? So each day I wake up with the intention in my heart to see more love, be more love, and do better today than I did yesterday. Um, and then also I go out and I talk to people, strangers, homeless. It don't matter who they are, where they are, and I ask people their names and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff feeds me spiritually, because it's me showing the love that is me, and being God's hands, His feet, His eyes, His ears, and all that other kind of stuff. Did I miss an area?
Did you do emotional or intellectual?
Okay, intellectually.
You could
Okay, I,
just come
I
back.
got to come
Just come
back.
back.
Okay.
She's dropping bars, y'all. She's dropping bars, so I had to hit the bazinga. So let's go ahead and add her back in for what she does for emotional as well as intellectual, because she's a beast. I'll just say that on both.
Okay, intellectually, every day I used to do it just an hour a day, every day for at least, because I'm retired now, I can do 3 hours a day of learning something that I don't know. I mean, that means you say you listen to about 5 to 10 books a week. I don't know how many I listen to, because I'll be listening all the time. Even when I'm on the app, in my background is listening to something. And if it's not that, I'm listening to cartoons and things that uplift your spirit, and comedies, and that's emotional comedies and all that other kind of stuff. So, and then I come on this app for intellectual and comedy, because because I have fun on here, and I have fun listening to people, and listening to. Oh my gosh, it's just so much, as far as spiritually and emotionally, because all this that I do, as far as the comedies, all that is helping my spirit and my emotions. Is there one more? Is there something else? Or one more? I forgot.
So I was intellectual, and then we did emotional. How do you
Yeah,
keep that?
and also emotional. Emotional. I recognize that everybody is a mirror of me, like they say in First Corinthians 13. You know, later in your life, you will see the mirror, and you can't see it's dim now, but it's gonna be clear later. I clearly see that the other is me, and that I am projecting out something when somebody is saying something to me that I don't like, and I've got learned the Ho'oponopono prayer, and I had certified in Ho'oponopono or whatever, and that just says I'm sorry, please forgive me, and it love you, thank you, and it clears whatever the energy is that's causing me to have that adverse situation happen in front of me that I don't like, or that feeling that I don't like, whether it's a pain, whether it's an attitude that I get or whatever, and I make sure that I clear that energy. And most times I see it's usually me projecting, me judging me, or me putting me down, or me not trusting something that I'm trying to do. So all that goes with the emotional. Okay. And because when I'm able to see things in a different light, things change in my reality, you know. And I recognize here emotionally also, I recognize that anytime that I'm talking to anybody or listening to anything, that I have a pause between my thoughts. So that means I can pause and decide whether I'm gonna take the train. What do you say? The train on track number 2 for the
Platform
best day
two
ever.
is best day ever.
Best day
Platform
ever.
three is the dread, where it's the worst day ever.
Is the worst day. I learned that I can that all the time I'm at a crossroads. I can always think the better feeling thought, because there's a better feeling thought and a not good thought. So I always try to stop and choose the better feeling thought, even if it's I'm in the middle of a disagreement with somebody, because I don't argue with nobody. That's another thing I do for myself emotionally. I don't argue with people because we both are right. You're the person, one person is right, the other person is right, because that's coming from their belief system, and I'm right coming from my belief system. So I don't argue with anybody. That keeps a whole lot of stress down. I'm able to chill, and I'm able to have fun with my dog, and you know what I'm saying. It's like, you know, you can live carefree, you know. And then another thing I'm doing, take care of myself. I'm allowing myself, and now this I'm saying it now because I didn't do this when I was young. I'm allowing myself to go to the places and do the things that I always wanted to do. Like in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, I will be in no in 2 weeks today, I will be in Paris, France, beginning my 10-day stay. You know, so I do things for me. Went to Arizona, saw my girl, KB. Went to somewhere. Went to, was California. Saw Daniel. I go wherever I want to go, where I want to go, and I have fun. And I don't let anything stop me from having fun. And I don't allow anything that anybody else can do or say to lower my vibration, because I know I'm responsible for the heart of me, and that's my vibration. That's my heart, and I can't let people manipulate it. I have to have boundaries. Okay, all that is the emotional taking care of me. So I do a whole lot, because I know that it's having balance at all the areas that give you the joy and the peace and the contentment that I have in my life right now, and the money too. It gives you money too that I have right now. So thank you, Charente.
Thank you, Mom. And as she's departing, we're just going to give her a round of applause for the fact that she does take care of herself. And I'm so very proud of you, Mom. I really am, because you're the first person that I've ever known, okay? And to see you go from where you were caring about everybody else and not caring about you, to you loving you, which allows you to love me in my fullness. I appreciate all the self care that you do. So thank you. And she's about to go to Paris, baby. Paris. Oh, she gonna have so much fun, baby. Woo! Sorry, I heard, like, you know, just a little big backstory. Back in the day, my mom actually, when she went to school, she said she only learned French. So, and been wanting to go to France for a while, specifically. please know that my name Charente literally is a city within France. Okay, like mom's been wanting to go for a minute, y'all. I am 28 now, so do the math. Just do the math. Longer than that. So I'm really, really proud of her for being able to do the self-care to get to the place where she feels completely safe. She has the guardrail. She has everything that she needs. Yes, I'm talking from a daughter to a mother point of view. I appreciate all of that she has become to she's unbecome to become. She's still a brick house. Okay? She's still superwoman. She's still all these things. But she also loves herself in her fullness so she can love others in their fullness and see them in their wholeness. One thing that this article did not go over, which I just thought about and this needs to be talked about. There is a self-care for money. Please know there's a self-care for money. And it ties into another thing that they didn't talk about, which is your mental. Okay, there's two other states in here. That's why I thought this was weird. Sorry, for me, I always say there are 7 areas, not 5 areas. So I also include mental and finances in there. The reason why I include mental is because your mindset, that term mind over matter really is a thing. If you don't have the mindset as in you don't allow the thoughts that you really truly want to focus on to be the things that you actually focus on, but you focus on the things that make you feel terrified and then you catastrophize in your mind, that is not allowing love. That is not allowing self-care to really be fostered. That is giving the power to the thoughts. Oh yeah, I had that, girl. I got someone in my back channel, aka Loyce, helping me with another area. I'll talk about that in a second. So back to mental. So when it comes to your mental, what I'm gonna recommend that you guys do, this is what I did. I call this reprogramming. I started listening to words of affirmation all day, on low, or when I was sleeping or just waking up, of people on YouTube University and listening to what they gotta say. Literally look up these things. The person I mainly listened to was I Am Creator or You Are Creators or something like that. It's one of the 2 variations. I listen to him. I like his voice. It helps me go to sleep as well as it helped me hear myself. Or get an app. There's an app by the name of Think Up. It's on Androids and it's on iPhone. Download it, record your affirmations, and listen to yourself speaking yourself up all the time. You gotta rework that thing, reprogram that thing. If your mental space and place is not one that you like, if you feel depressed, you feel like you've given up, I'm gonna recommend that you reprogram your mind because I was there where I was super depressed. I was suicidal multiple times in my life. And by me taking the time to reprogram my mind, I feel 20 times better. And when I have a dip of the emotion, mind you, my mental automatically starts up because I try to process those things. No, it's not just intellectual. No, I try to process it and say, well, I think it's no, 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 no. And mind you, it's whatever thought I go with, and that whatever that thought is, if I let it resonate for a brief period of time, as brief as 17 seconds, it can snowball for me, or it could be an avalanche for quote unquote my demise. Either or. Be mindful of your mental. Next is your money, baby. This ties into your mental. This ties into your emotional. Because the things that you currently have manifested, the answers to the prayers that you currently have come in from the emotion plus the thought. So that means your emotional self-care to your mental self-care to get you where you are in your money. Okay. So when I think of this, I'm thinking of a lack mindset and an abundant mindset. A lack mindset generally says, I can't, I wish, I hope, or they're on Peter to PayPal. They are doing things in their mind all the time and not writing it down. These are ways that you don't love yourself. I'm listing right now. Ways that you do love yourself. You have your money written down somewhere. When you talk about your money to other people, you always talk your money up because you're gonna flow in that attraction space. Okay? And when someone asks me a question of like, oh, so you're gonna go on my services today, I'm like, hey, when I have the budget allotted for that expenditure at a later time period, we will reconnect and we'll go forward with this contract. That's what I say. I don't say I can't. I have it. It's just the budget needs to now be in alignment at a future date. Okay? That's all that is. You don't have to say I can't. You can just say I need a little bit more time. You don't even have to say money, okay? Just say that, because I know I always have the money for it. If I want it, I have it. Okay, I'm like the Ariana song. If I want it, I got it. Whether that time period takes it, it's always divine timing, and I can't tell you that the timing. Sometimes it can be seconds, sometimes it could be days, sometimes it could be years, but it happens. Okay? So there's that. When it comes to the abundance mindsets, it's I have. It's always I have. Because we have it. It's just still in the process of coming to us. So we're not going to reject it and say, I can't. Because when you say can't, it means you don't have the ability to. May not. It does not have permission to even enter your space. Be careful what you're saying, baby. Please. Especially when it comes to your money. Write it down. Take the time to understand finances and what it means for you. What is life insurance? Do you want it? There are different varieties. Whole life, term, IUL, which is universal life cost. Like, figure it out what that actually means to you. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Loyce. Maybe she's going to talk about that last one for me.
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that financial thing. The thing is that your financial hygiene has to be good. It has to be just as good as your physical, emotional, mental, intellectual hygiene. You don't do things to hurt yourself financially, you know. So you have to pay attention to your budget. You have to have it written down. You need to see where your money is flowing to, not going to, flowing through, because your money flows. It's energy and it flows. And sometimes we have it flowing into black holes, and you can't let your money flow into a black hole, okay? Because just gets totally absorbed that way. You got to be mindful of emotional spending. You got to be mindful of making sure that the credit cards, if you have credit cards, that you're paying more than the minimum balance each month. Okay, and I have so many different things when it comes to money. It's unreal, because I've learned how to manage. I've learned how to manage that little bit, so I've been given a little bit more to manage. And it has to do with understanding where it's going, how is it flowing, what are the percentages on my credit cards, understanding that payday loans and all that other kind of garbage is not healthy for my finances. Okay, that it would be easy, it'd be better to, uh, if you needed money, to borrow it from a family or a friend or somebody, and make payments if you got to borrow a larger amount. But getting in all those heavy interest rate traps, or it's like I call them a trick bag. Okay, because once you get in that trick bag, it's hard to get out. Been there, done that. Okay. uh and it's so many things like that you can do to even build your credit up. You can build your credit by taking all your bills and putting them on one of your lowest interest credit cards, and paying your bills with your credit, but then paying it off at the end of the month with the amount you was paying on your bills in the first place. And that builds your credit really, really, really fast. Okay, because they're saying, oh my god, they're using all this credit, but oh my god, they're paying it all off, oh my god, they're using all this credit. And then if you don't have the money to do to do certain things like that, if you are paying money on these credit cards, as long as you pay more than a minimum amount, this is something I learned long time ago, they look at you differently when you're paying just the minimum amount, because that's all you think you can afford. They're saying, well, they can't afford to have no more credit because they can't pay no more than the minimum amount. So you got to pay more than minimum amount. And then if you got a bunch of credit cards, you need to figure out who is your highest interest rate, and then you need to pay that off first, and then start doubling up. And don't take that say oh my god, I got extra money in my pocket. No, take that so-called extra money and pay down the next one, and then take that extra money and pay down the next one. Next thing you know,
I'm going to pause you.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to give you guys terms in regards to what she just previously said in regards to if you pay over the amount versus if you just pay the minimum. When we're talking, when it comes to credit, what banks are looking at you, they can think of you as a revolving customer, which simply means you're always making the minimum, or they can see you as pretty much cash only, like you're only using it because it's a credit card. And they do look at you completely differently. This is the thing. You can
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. So your financial hygiene is very important, because if you were to manifest that $1 million and you don't have good financial hygiene, it's gonna go away just as fast, and then you're gonna back be in the same predicament. But if you learn the financial hygiene right now, where you don't have that much, then when you get to that place where you do have that the big money that you want, then you'll know how to keep it, and how to let it flow, because you can't get nothing holding on to it. And I'm gonna be real, you can't get nothing holding on to it. You gotta give some away. You gotta invest in some things. You gotta do some stuff with it. And most time, I know for me, because I am the who I am. I get a lot in return because of how I give. And I don't go around telling people what I do. Okay, I just do it, and next thing you know, Loyce, how'd you get this? I don't know. Somebody just walked up to me and say, "Hey, you want these 5 pair of shoes still in the boxes with tags on them?"
And she says yes. And then she sometimes shares the wealth with her daughters. It's a fantastical thing. She can come back, but before she does, I do want to make some points. So when she was talking about that financial specifically, when you're doing investing, you're investing because you're ready for your money to make babies. Babies, I tell you, because you want it to multiply. So what type of investments does that actually look like? For me personally speaking, for part of my hygiene, and I'm gonna finish this before I bring you up so you have your full time. Is that I have a high yield savings account. I got it when it was at 50%. Yes, 50%. Now it's at 100 and something percent, so it's a 1 point whatever. And this is during quote unquote inflation. So having different types of investments, that was just getting a different type of savings account, because I knew that I wasn't going to put it in traditional bank where I'm making 0.01% on my money. I needed more of a return than that measly. Why? Just why did you even say there was a one? No, you don't want that. Figuring out what that looks like. If you're doing crypto, researching it, our market cap, and figuring out corn marketplace. There's a couple of places that you can research this stuff and get the labels and understand how it's built, what the utilization of it, the cap on it, the volume of it, and what things are they doing to improve it. And there are so many things that you can learn with crypto if you want to take the time to learn that as a thing for you to do investing. There's cost averaging. But when you take the time to understand your finances, you get to this better space and place where it doesn't matter really what's going on in the world, because you have taken care of it, where you're not going to have to worry about it.
And
Hi.
that is so true. And hi again. That is so true. In addition to that, always, 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 don't take nobody's word for it. Don't take my word for this. Do your
Me
own
neither.
research. Do your own research and development. I'm telling you what worked for me to get my financial hygiene together, so that I make room so for what I want to come in. Nothing was gonna come in as long as I was sloppy with them finances. Okay, wasn't nothing coming in. When I was like Wilma Flintstone and Betty Rubble, when they said charge it and just run to the store, wasn't nothing coming in, because I was too busy. Uh, um, wait, I don't say um, ransoming myself out, because I was owing way more money than I had coming in. Okay,
Mama,
and I, you
you
know,
just gave me
so
this mic drop moment. I can't drop my mic because I like her, but you just made me rethink about this. Now this explains for me why I went from making the money that I made to double the amount. Now this makes sense because I did
that,
take the time
yeah,
to
that
actually do it.
the thing is, the Bible tells you, take care, be faithful in that which little, and He will give you much. So the thing is, when we're not faithful in the little that we do have when we're starting out, then we're not making room for much. It's like that. It's like that story I heard a couple of weeks ago about the boy wanting a car, and he had an old car in the driveway that his dad had left that was on blocks. And his grandma kept telling him, you want a car, you gotta make room for it. But I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this, and she looked outside the window. So finally he went outside. He got all the junk and trash from under the car that was sitting on blocks, and moved the car out of the thing, and had somebody come and tow it away. And within a short period of time, he had his own car in the driveway, because he made room for the blessing. So if you sloppy with your finances, don't think that financial is gonna come through. Now, if you sloppy with your spirituality, or sloppy with whatever area it is, where your thinking is not right, or you're not doing that which is best for you. And like I said, this is no judgment. I did this bullshit to myself, and I knew I had to dig myself out, because wasn't no Superman gonna come, and wasn't no remote control gonna change the channel.
The lottery
Okay,
wasn't going to happen just overnight like that. We
and
people wish.
well, I wish somebody would came. Oh, let them have $1 million. Come on, you know. But then again, even in relationships, if you have to be the person that you want to be, and that you want to have in a relationship, you got to be trustworthy. You got to be honest. You got to be all those things, compassionate and loving, because you're gonna draw that which is just like you. So I'm gonna say it like Queen Bee Divine. If you see shit flies and maggots when you look around, then your thinking is stinking. Okay, and you got to clean it up, and you got to clean it up in whatever area that is stinking in, because most people, we have several areas that we can of all these areas, we have several areas that fly high almost all the time. But then we have them areas that we don't talk too much about, that's full of crap. Okay, and we ignore them and we walk away from them, whatever. But we have to work on all these areas to have this peace that you were talking about earlier in the conversation. Just to taking care of yourself, and to have the self-love. And this is about loving yourself in all areas of your life, not just in one area, not just in your spirit, not just in your emotional, not just in your mental, not just, you got to work on all areas. And a lot of people want financial. They think if they have financial, it's going to solve everything. But hell, I had financial, and I still went I still, I ain't
I
gonna say went
blew
to hell.
my money. I'm just going to throw this out there. Guys, I have received an inheritance. Okay, I have in one time in my life, and I blew that on accident because I thought I had the financial literacy that it took to maintain and really have the self care in my finances. And I realized that I didn't. I realized I still had identity issues. I realized that I wasn't loving me in my fullness. So it literally affected my finances.
So yeah, so that financial hygiene is very important, and I'm gonna let you talk about that last one. So I'm off again, and I probably won't come back this time. I love you. I'll
Okay.
talk to you later. Okay,
Love
bye.
you. Bye. Okay, so the last one she gave me that she put onto my back one is if there is kids around, I'm going to give you the acronym. Okay, this is sharing energy XO. Think of the first letters. That's what we're talking about. Okay, that is a hygiene in and of itself. If you don't know how to physically touch yourself and hug yourself and love on yourself, how can you help someone else do that for you? And did you know that when you share energy XO, it is actually sharing energy. You're connecting to them with your root and their root, and you accidentally absorb their energy. And it's not easy just to separate that, especially if you don't know who you even are. Okay, you can only talk about myself. I noticed when I decided to pursue the sharing energy XO with another person that I didn't really know, that after I did that, I started experiencing things I have never experienced in my life because I really do have a good energy with me. I really do. But when I decided to do that with just anybody and not know them, I started to manifest things that I didn't realize I was attracting because I decided to combine their root and my root together. Okay? I didn't know that. I didn't really understand that scripture in regards to being careful who you sleep with. I didn't really understand it. Now I do it in so many freaking ways. So when we're thinking about self-care and we're thinking about sharing energy XO, if you one are not understanding who you are when it comes to this, I'll say that would be the first things first before you even get a partner. Then when you do get a partner, know that that's not going to be all of your life. That's probably going to be sometimes not. I don't know how frequent it's going to be. It's something that for you two to decide. But figuring out what that looks like, because that is a part of a relationship. In addition to talking about that, you also have to think of when you're sharing energy XO, you can also possibly sharing some physical self-care stuff too, which is diseases that the person may or may not know that they're a carrier for. Okay. So being very mindful of that and who you allow to have that whole of you too. You might be walking around saying, I am broken and I am rationed. My question is, why are you saying that? And did you share your energies in a deep way with people that you weren't staying with? And if you did, simply say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And allow that to dissolve whatever it is that you accidentally picked up. Okay? But mind you, if these have been things that have been compounded and compounded over years and it became a part of your personality, please know that it's going to take a little bit of additional time to release it in its fullness, to allow it truly to dissipate, to dissolve, evaporate, if you will. Okay? You can do it. Another thing I would say just on this last point of sharing energy XO is this. When it comes to your identity and deciding what that's going to look like for you, love yourself for who you love, what you love. Simple. And please know that there is a law of gender that is in the 12 laws of the universe. Take a look at that. And it literally says masculine and feminine must exist, both of them, simultaneously in one person. Even if the outside reflection is a female or the outside reflection is a male, we are both. So know that you are both. You don't necessarily need to change your entire identification and class of gender to be able to be both. And if you want to do that, do it. I'm not stopping you. I'm just letting you know that you are both. And if you don't want to make a change, you don't have to make that change. If you do, live your best life. I ain't going to stop you. I'm not going to talk down to you about it either, because I love you just for who you are and whatever the identity that you decide to choose yourself with. Pansexual, demisexual, there are so many type of these things. It's kind of ridiculous. But I love you just for you. And I will close this self-care chat with that. So we're going to go back to closing out for today and keep it moving on with the move on. You heard the sound that says we gotta skedaddle. It just simply means that the train is now ready to go full steam ahead. I'm not saying you gotta get out of bed. I'm not saying you get off work. I don't got that power. And I'm not saying you gotta leave from your home. I'm just saying it's time for us to move to the next destination. Thank you so much for listening into Affirmation Station and riding with me to have this amazing Love Our Divine Tuesday. Like, I am so proud of you, the work that you've done. Thank you for listening in with me. Thank you for vibing with me. Thank you for Loyce. Thank you for Suri for coming on and chatting with me today. You may now exit the train and head to your next destination. Remember, there are transfer lines available to the best day ever on platform 2 or the worst day ever on platform 3. You get to choose your perception of this current reality for yourself. I will see you guys tomorrow for Career Wednesday in divine timing for this live recording of Affirmation Station, or episode 51. Isn't this fun? I love you to infinity and beyond. I hope you have a fantabulous day. Ta-ta for now. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Love you guys. Bye.